India at 9. Let's raise a talking point tonight then. Is Dinesh Singh, the Delhi University Vice Chancellor, is he really the fall guy in this entire Delhi University 4-year undergraduate program row? And joining me tonight to answer that big question, Professor M.M. Ansari, member of the UGC, Anil Jha, member Delhi University Academic Council, here in our studios, Nandita Narayan, president of the Delhi University Teachers Association. Also joining us, someone who's been meeting the Delhi University Vice Chancellor very closely today, Madhu Kishwar, Dr. Sambit Pathar, representing the BJP, and Angelica Aribam, she's the National Secretary of the NSUI. Also joining us, TV Mohandas Pai, Chairman of the Manipal Global Education Services. Welcome to all of you on the program. Nandita, let me first begin with you. Just a short while back, there has been this press release which has now been issued by the UGC that they've got a written or compliance notice now from 57 out of these 64 colleges that they are going to be implementing this 3-year program. Please tell me, as a teacher and president of the TUTA, do you really believe it's possible for the colleges now to immediately revert to this 3-year program?
Absolutely possible. And the thing is that, the direction should come from the university. So the UGC has to find a way of making the university function as per the rule of law, and the direction in the light of the fact that the UGC has declared the FYUP courses unrecognized, not without suitable appropriate permission and so on. The university has to comply because the university has to function within the rule of law also. This power has been given to the UGC through the Constitution of India itself, through the 7th schedule, list 1, item 66 if you want to be particular. And the central government has a role of determining and coordinating standards across the country. And therefore the UGC is empowered to do this.
But you see, while you say that the UGC is empowered to do that, also look at the kind of concerns which are being expressed by the same principals. And I'm quoting, let me quote this for the benefit of our viewers. They are saying that the real difficulty in terms of implementing of this 3-year course lies in the fact that the ordinances of Delhi University do not have any scope for a 3-year program yet, because you cancelled the 3-year program last year.
No. Not at all. The 3-year program is running in the 2nd year and 3rd year. You see, so those courses are very much there. They exist. Students are studying them. Students are being examined in them. And even first-year exams are held in them because people repeat papers. So the courses have not disappeared. In the light of the fact that the ordinances pertaining to FYUP have been de-recognized for various reasons. One is that any university which wishes to start a new course has to apply to the UGC 6 months in advance as per the official Gazette of India 2004. And apart, so that the UGC can examine the infrastructure, so that the UGC can see if the standards
Did Dinesh Singh just not follow the rule book?
No, they were not followed.
They were not followed. Nandita Narayan's basic charge is that
courses were made in June and the course was implemented in July.
And therefore am I right, Madhuji, when I hold Dinesh Singh squarely responsible for this kind of a chaos which is unfolding now on the campuses of Delhi University?
See, it's very easy when strange kind of political alliances take place. I think we are going to witness very interesting politics where BJP and CPM had joined together to blast a Vice Chancellor who, by BJP Congress ministers, Jairam Ramesh had written against him to the Prime Minister, saying that what he is doing, this is nothing but a return to Murli Manohar Joshi's vision of Indian history and culture. He should be sacked. There is also the Human Resource Development Minister Pallam Raju, who had stated categorically that Vice Chancellor Dinesh Singh is a BJP sympathizer and he should be kept away from government committees. He was being accused because he did course curriculum revision, which the CPM didn't like. They were after him. Now the point is, here is 1st May 2013 letter of UGC putting a stamp of approval on the new courses. Secondly, it went through Academic Council, where out of 92 members, 86 assented, only 6 dissented. In the Executive Council, out of 27 members, 24 assented,
so do you
only
believe
3
that the
dissented.
UGC is to be held accountable then?
I'm saying UGC doesn't have the power under the UGC Act to micromanage any university.
That's not true. That's not true at all.
They cannot.
Because I do have, Madhu Kishwar, I do have Supreme Court judgments in front of me. 25th of February 2009, the Supreme Court has made it very, very clear. In fact, 2 judgments, 25th February 2009, 19th of September 2013, and I can quote for you if you like. UGC as an expert body has been entrusted with the duty to take steps as it may think fit for the determination and maintenance of standards of teaching,
Absolutely.
examination, research in the university. For attaining the said standard, it's open to the UGC to lay down any qualifying criteria.
But
Therefore,
yes, it must go through due process.
Yes.
If UGC thinks something has been done wrongly, either there's
so you say it's not Dinesh Singh,
no,
it's UGC?
No, absolutely it's UGC backed by the president.
Nandita, do you buy
One
that?
second, let me complete.
Yes.
Then, since it was done through an ordinance, the ACEC passed it, it has to go through a reverse gear,
Right.
and another ordinance has to come in. And I have no problem if the UGC were to appoint a non-partisan review committee,
Right.
not of opponents.
But all that is too late.
Wait,
All
no,
that is
no,
too late
no,
in the
no,
day.
no.
You've
I'm saying
already
it can
spent
be.
1 year where you
Its
admitted students,
legality
ma'am.
will be challenged in a court of law. I don't think UGC orders
Do you buy this, Nandita?
will
Narayan?
ever
Because it's a very
stand
specific
the
question.
scrutiny of law.
Yes.
If I'm
Yeah,
allowed
yes,
to speak.
yes, yes.
First of all, it is completely inappropriate to see this as CPM, Congress and BJP.
Right.
It is only
represent-
that.
Please, I may not be interrupted.
Sure.
Yes, we are in a civilized society where
Sure.
we should listen to each
Go
other,
ahead, go
even
ahead.
if we disagree. I represent the Delhi University Teachers Association. I do not represent the left organizations. Here today, I represent a cross-section of political and those who are not even affiliated to any political organization. And let me assure you, the Delhi University Teachers Association, after getting feedback from all our staff associations and in consultation with all the students who have given us their feedback on
Right.
anonymous questionnaires, we have taken a decision through our general body meeting on the 31st of January, unanimously to oppose it. Anybody who is now speaking up for the Vice Chancellor is going against the general body decision of the DUTA.
Right.
There is a near unanimous decision of the teachers and the students, and it's nothing to do with your political opinions. After all, the country has to run. If a Prime Minister has been elected, it does not matter which political party he's come from. We have to approach the Prime Minister and the Minister to follow the rule of law, and on common causes, we have to all work together.
Right.
Otherwise, how
So
will this
follow
country
the rule of law is all I'm saying.
Please do not
By
interrupt
all
me.
means,
I
junk
would
it.
like to-
No, but
I would
this
like
is
to-
One
no, this
second.
is not
Mis-
correct.
one second.
This is not
Misrepresentation.
appropriate.
One by one,
This is
one
not
by one.
appropriate.
Nandita is
I want
talking.
to come to the
I'll give
legal
you your
point.
time,
I want to come to the legal point.
Yes.
Yes, the UGC has also erred, but because the illegalities have been perpetrated by I want to say why. The UGC on the 1st of May writes a letter. I want to know what are the minutes of the commission meeting in which this
I'll tell you
item
something,
was discussed.
Nandita. I have MM Ansari on the
UGC has
program with
never
me today.
discussed this
I have
item.
Mr. Ansari with me on the
Yes.
program, member of the UGC. And Mr. Ansari was very candid yesterday when he appeared on the program, and he said the UGC was ultimately a political pawn. The UGC till yesterday was reporting to its Congress bosses. The UGC today is reporting to the BJP bosses. Mr. Ansari, was that the impression that you had conveyed yesterday? And are you still standing by your words as you listen to these comments which are being made?
Well, I would say that we have been discussing about the FYUP program for the last 1 year, both in favor as well as against the program. But now we have come to a situation, we have come to a place where a decision has been taken by the present day government, and that is, and the decision has been taken by the UGC, and that is also backed by the present day government, and that has to be complied with. So rather
Now what
than
happens when the
wasting
decision
our
is not
time,
complied with? Because
no,
the
no.
Delhi University Vice
No, no.
Chancellor takes one position, the Delhi University colleges, at least 57 in those colleges, have taken a different position.
Yeah,
Browbeat.
this is what I'm trying to say, that this is not the time to find and indulge in the blame game on each other. Rather, we have to think of very seriously about the reputation of the university as well as the future of the students.
Right.
Now we have to come to the solution. I must also say that there has been shadow of political interference on the university as well as on the various
Even today,
programs.
would you
And
say,
if
even
you
today,
see the
would you
people
say,
who have
Mr.
been-
Ansari, even today, would you say that political interference that you talk about exists even today?
Yeah, and yes, I have been saying it, that there has been a shadow of political interferences, and the people who have been at the helm of affairs have been taking decisions, and those who have been agitating in favor or against, they are associated with various political parties.
Okay, so
and
just hold on,
therefore I think that
just hold on at that
the
point,
present
because that's the point that I
lockdown
wanted
is
to put to
because of the
Sambit
political
Patra.
interference.
Mr. Ansari, just hold on, because I want to take that point to you, Sambit Patra. We just heard Salman Khurshid a short while back squarely blaming the BJP, saying it's the BJP which is in power, it's the BJP which is to be blamed. Would you believe that maybe, perhaps there was there was some other way that you could have handled the scenario, or do you believe that you had run out of options?
Bhupen, before I come to the specifics of your question, I mean, the generalization that I would like to do over here is, look, education is something which is best done when it is egoless. And the problem over here in this whole scenario is ego has crept into educational system.
Right.
And that's the reason as to why we see the whole lot of mess that we are seeing today. Ego of two people. We had ego of Kapil Sibal, which was into the ego of, which is converted into ego of Mr. Dinesh, the Vice Chancellor of Delhi University. I mean, for the lakhs of people who are going to come to Delhi University, I believe such kind of ego should have been placed on the roadside.
Yes, Kapil
Secondly,
Sibal come in
no,
this.
please. Secondly, coming to Salman Khurshid's question. I mean, ironically, I was watching, you were questioning Salman Khurshid, and the most used word by Salman Khurshid was BJP should have taken everyone on board. They should have taken the students on board. They should have taken the teachers on board. They should have taken the Vice Chancellor on board. I asked Salman Khurshid, why did they not take everyone on board before hastily putting this whole system into position? If they would have taken the whole thing on board, then probably we would not have been seeing what we are seeing today.
But Angelica, isn't this exactly the fear? And I was asking Mr. Khurshid about this. This is becoming a Congress-BJP fight. The Congress accuses the BJP accuses the Congress. No one talks about the students. And therefore, I'm wondering that those students who would be entering Delhi University now with this directive which is coming in, compliance order being given now by the colleges, what would be the kind of message which should be going to all the students?
It's really sad when you look at it. The UPA, it respects the autonomy of the Delhi University. It has always respected. We have never meddled into the autonomy of the university. And when they came up with the FYUP, we did not take a stand against it nor for it. So, because we had an open mind, we wanted to see how the education system is being reformed. But during the course of the last 1 year, we have gone to students, we have taken their feedbacks, we have done surveys and found that there has been a lot of shortcomings in the FYUP. There is lack of infrastructure, there is irrelevant foundation courses, and the students are suffering. And because of that, today we want the FYUP to be scrapped.
So don't you think that it would have been better off if the Congress would have perhaps, the HRD ministry, the UGC should have thought about all this earlier in 2013?
That's the point. The HRD ministry back then, they never wanted to meddle with the autonomy, because the autonomy of Delhi University is sacrosanct. You cannot meddle around with an autonomous body.
I have something very important to say.
Yes.
You see, it was not just a question of making courses. You're increasing the duration from 3 to 4 years. Now, apart from it not being in consonance with the rest of the country, that is another problem. But when you increase that, you need you have to have infrastructure to meet the needs of 33% extra students in a college at one time. You already had a 54% expansion after the OBC reservation came in.
Right.
So with 154%, 33% of that is about 51%. You need another 51% commitment. You need extra space for rooms, laboratories, teachers, and the investment required would be to the tune of at least 1,000 crores, if not more. More than what was required for the OBC expansion, or at least as much. That was sanctioned by the cabinet, because no other body has the right to sanction any such expenditure
in this scenario,
which is more than 200
Ms.
crores.
Kishwar, why do you then believe in this
And
scenario?
there was no
It's almost as if that the present HRD ministry has taken,
it is most
or
irresponsible.
guided, or the present HRD ministry has guided the UGC, let me put it this way,
a
in
blind
terms
alley
of
that
taking
you're pushing
a
students
corrective
into.
step. Why do you then say that this is a blot on the NDA government?
The reason I'm saying it is, even if all these charges were true, which I think all of them are not, they're overstated. This is all about politics of appointments between rival groups of teachers. Let me tell you.
It's as simple as that, is it? It's got nothing to do with 3 year versus 4 year. It's teachers. You believe that this entire fracas is because of teachers' politics.
Absolutely, and the lowest grade teachers' politics that's being played out through this whole conflict. And in this scenario, even if, let's say, all these charges are correct, which I don't accept they are, there are flaws, there are limitations, they should have been corrected, they would have been corrected. It takes time for any course to stabilize. The old system was rotten and cracking up. Now the point is, go through due process. We gave due process even to Ajmal Kasab. And you're not giving a university, which is an autonomous body, which went through a certain process of curriculum reform, which means more work for teachers, more work for students, and people have gotten used to not doing much work. Kunji said last...
But ironically,
one second.
Whom are you telling
Well,
this?
I know a little bit, you may know more.
Make your point, make your point.
All I'm saying is, finally, due process, review committee, and reverse the ordinance with a counter ordinance. Go through that process, you can junk it. I have no problem. If you think the VC has done badly, hang him.
But I think,
but at least give him what Ajmal Kasab got.
No, but I'll tell you what.
Fair hearing and a fair
No, but
trial.
I'll tell you
You're
what.
not doing
Now
that.
let me present some specifics before you. You know, I spent some time in the HRD ministry today, and maybe I should put this question to Anil Jha, who's been listening to all these comments. There are some specific points, Mr. Jha, which are being made against the Delhi University Vice Chancellor, and I'll just quote some of these points, which have, by the way, been made on the HRD ministry's file for your information. Mr. Singh is being accused of not having ensured a submission of the ordinance which was meant to be passed to the visitor, who in this case happens to be the president of the country.
Factually wrong.
Hold on. No, I'm just giving you what is there on government file. Mr. Jha, in addition, Mr. Singh is being accused of not having followed the law when it comes to the question of making changes. To bring in this FYUP course, you had to amend the existing clauses of the Delhi University Act. He did not apparently take permissions. Now, my point is, what was the big hurry which was being shown by the Delhi University Vice Chancellor?
Let me tell you very clearly, Bhupendra. There was no hurry. This rumor has been floating around for last 1 year. See, let me submit to you for your consideration 3 things. What is simple here, what is difficult here, and what is baffling. The simple here is, as my previous speaker said, that it's politics of appointment. Difficult here is to understand why autonomy of an institution is getting violated by none other than another institution which is also created by an act of parliament. See, during British rule in 1922, when Delhi University came up, during British rule also the colonial government never thought of interfering. Now, suddenly, this interference.
But
now,
how is it
what
not
is
interference?
baffling?
But why are you saying it's interference?
See,
there are many on this panel who believe that maybe the Delhi University Vice Chancellor is making a mistake.
It is not
That's all.
mandated.
Do
It is not
properly
mandated.
through
Try
due
to
process.
understand. UGC mandate clearly says that it can only recommend or provide guidelines. It never says that it can give orders. And the worst, it never says that it will directly talk to the principals.
I don't get this.
of
Hold on.
colleges.
You know, because this is contentious.
Read the letter of 23rd July 2013.
The UGC is absolute.
To
It is
let
absolute.
courses, no.
No, that is not what
No,
we're talking
not
about.
to suspend courses.
To determine and coordinate
You have to go
standards.
through due process.
Listen,
is all I'm
you-
saying.
autonomy.
They have to see
At
that
the
the
end of the day,
infrastructure is there, and if
this
it is
debate
not
on
there,
autonomy.
Bhupendra.
Hold on.
if the
You know, this debate
infrastructure
on
is not
autonomy.
there, they can strike down the cost.
Just
If it is not in the
use-
10
And review it.
Just
Give us a
use-
report.
They've
This-
reviewed it.
Listen,
There's
there is a
enough
certain
time for
fund.
the review.
This is
There
what
is a certain
Bhupendra.
government fund which is given ultimately to Delhi University.
Bhupendra.
Now, surely Delhi University
come
has to
in?
be held accountable
No,
to someone.
UGC
No.
Act does
See,
not allow,
Bhupendra.
and Anil Jhab's right, does not allow giving orders.
Yeah.
Not at all.
And
Bhupendra.
Superman.
Okay,
Bhupendra,
one by one,
Bhupendra,
one by one, one by one.
Let me
In
just sum
matters
it.
of
Let me
national
just tell you
policy,
something very
let's
interesting.
hear it.
Okay.
Let's
World
hear it.
Bank, World Bank
Let's
gives
hear it.
fund to Indian
Okay.
government.
Makes the central
IMF
government,
gives fund to Indian government.
Okay.
Let's
Does
hear
it
it.
mean
We haven't heard
that they
it.
will set our policy?
Okay.
Let's hear it.
Anil Jha, complete your point and then I'm going to move
What
on.
I'm saying is there are different agencies which
Yes.
give money to government of India.
Right.
Does it mean, for example, World Bank or IMF, does it mean that they will meddle with Indian government's policy?
No,
or
it's about
economic policy?
accountability.
completely different.
No,
See, try
it's
to
about
understand.
accountability. Yeah, when you are
completely
being
different.
given, when you are being given public money, ultimately you can't take this argument that I am an autonomous body and therefore I am not responsible to anyone. But
No,
Mohandas
not
Pai-
at all.
Hold on,
Not
hold
at
on,
all.
hold on. Mohandas Pai, let me come to
Verdict on
you.
it.
Mohandas Pai, there are private universities in India, Mr. Pai, who have very successfully run this 4-year undergraduate program, and there don't seem to be any problems as far as these private universities are concerned. What do you think, Mr. Pai, has gone wrong in this entire Delhi University episode?
What has gone wrong is that the political parties are interfering with the administration of the university.
Right.
It is very obvious that the teachers' unions have been captured by various political parties and they reflect the views of the political parties. The Delhi University has gone through a due diligence process. They had 2 years to do all this. They went through academic council, they went through their executive council, they got to the statutes amended, and they got the UC approval last year, they started the course. Now why is everything getting reversed? If something has to be reversed, you must ask the Delhi University to get his executive committee and academic council back, discuss it again and put the points and leave it to them. The teachers union cannot run the university. You can't tell students from the streets running the university. It is a big change what's happening because everybody is getting interested in the university without having the responsibility. It's a big shame for this country.
Let's just listen to
autonomy of Delhi University.
Okay, so you believe that this is a consequence of teachers' unions politics ultimately becoming center
I have a very
stage.
different point over here. What
And
we want
political
to
parties
do is
interfere.
I've been listening to most of the panelists, including Mr. Pai, Madhukeshwarji, and the young friend from Delhi University, NSUI.
Absolutely.
All of them have the view that a structured view should be taken over a course of time, just as time provided to Ajmal Kasab probably, and then a decision should be taken. My view over here is education, especially playing with the lives of students, is not a commodity. It is not a roti maker that we buy it, and then after 1 year we realize that it can be discarded into a garbage bin and we can buy a second one. Over here, thousands of lives are to be decided. As early, the better it is for the life of the country and the life of the people. No, yes, it is there. A structured view. UGC and Delhi University are sitting together. Delhi University and UGC both are due process. They're sitting together and deciding this. But my contention over here is, my important political point on this is, look, there are multiple exit routes in this whole course. You have a 2-year course, you have a 3-year exit route, and then the 4th year. My thing is, on an average, if a student spends 1 to 1.5 lakh rupees per year, are you seeing to it that the underprivileged ones, the SC, STs, the women, and the ones who come from villages are the ones who are thrown out of the system as dropouts?
You believe this is bias?
Yeah.
This is elitist system. This 4th year and the supporters are elitist system.
This is
And the BJP is talking about
say
this.
this piety.
Can I get a chance?
You
Sure.
know, the worst sins are committed in the name of the poor, masking their people's own vested interest as concern for the poorest and the humble. We've seen that going on for many years. This won't wash. There's a tehzeeb that you follow. There's a minimal rules that you must follow. The UGC, which gave permission on 1st of May 2013, suddenly can't wake up and said everything was wrong, everything was junk,
I'm
and
in
we are going
agreement
to
with your
shoot
point
you.
there. I'm in agreement with your point there. And I was asking.
I say.
I have asked.
Process is all I'm
I have
asking.
asked MM Ansari
They
very
have
clearly.
gone to the
23rd
university
July
and
2013.
Hold on. You know, but while I agree with the part of that statement that you make, Madhukeshwar, that the UGC also must be held accountable.
Absolutely.
It's almost as the UGC has just woken up today.
Absolutely.
But having said that, the truth is also this, that there are many steps which have been taken by your esteemed friend, Mr. Dinesh
It's
Singh.
not my friend. I only met him twice in life.
Which have left a lot to be desired.
I have only met him recently.
Which have left a lot to be desired.
He's not my
And
friend.
Nandita, you know, I just want, I'm amazed. I'm amazed
talk
that a
about
man
due
like
process.
Dinesh Singh, with so many years of experience behind him, it takes the HRD ministry to tell him that a course in BTech in instrumentation is not possible, or a BTech in humanities is not possible. I'm quoting from the government files.
psychological sciences.
BTech in psychological sciences. Surely you don't require an undersecretary in the HRD ministry, no?
I'm saying this is not allowed.
What is the need of a review
I'm
committee?
sorry,
gamble
this
with
is
the
not
Why
the
should it
way.
come to
You
this level,
meanwhile
man?
gamble with the lives of
They-
another
oh,
60,000
come on,
students.
this
You
politics.
cannot gamble like
How is
this.
this politics?
You cannot gamble like
No,
this.
I just
I
want
want to come back to this.
Anil,
I tell you.
How is this
I want to
politics?
come back
Tell
to
me.
this.
The
I
ball-
presented
please,
facts
the
before you.
ball-
You are giving BTech in humanities.
yes.
I want to know, does Mr. Singh have to be reminded by an undersecretary in the HRD ministry that you can't do this?
All I'm trying to say is, look, let's not get into this nitty-gritty.
But these are
One
facts.
second.
These are facts, ma'am.
Please, this way, if you throw facts at me, I have to study these little facts
But
that
we
you
have been
suddenly...
studying them for a year and a half.
Okay,
Arey,
go ahead.
Don't
Madhukeshwar.
you wanted to be civilized, be civilized now.
Okay, go ahead.
What I'm trying to say to you is, exactly for this reason, undersecretaries going and informing the VC this way is not the way. You appoint a review committee. If it is found lacking, hang him. If he's done anything wrong, for God, by all means shoot him. But due process is all I'm begging for.
Anil Jha,
And
did the Delhi University Vice Chancellor Anil Jha,
Yes.
did he go through all these processes of building consensus, as Madhukeshwar is now saying that you have a review committee? Were there enough committees and consensus building exercises which were indulged in by Mr. Singh?
Bhupendra, let it be put on record. I'm telling you very emphatically, very clearly, that all due procedures, all due processes were followed. And I'm telling you,
Not at all.
whosoever is
I
challenging
can't do
it,
that.
Yes.
they will fall flat in a court of law. Fortunately,
They went to
last
my
Academic
court.
Council meeting on Saturday, we decided that we would not talk about clash with UGC. We respect every institution.
Right.
We respect the government. He's our, this is our government also. Kindly understand, what is baffling is, just 2-3 days before admissions are to begin, this comes. What is that? If the urgency was there, it could have happened 2 months before. If the urgency was there, it can happen 2 months later. Why 3-4 days before the admissions?
Okay.
Because
I'd like to say something.
they are
do you accept
fairly
this?
responsible.
No, I don't accept it.
Did Mr.
Yes,
Singh really make
not at
attempts
all,
to reach
not
out
at
to
all.
all
Let
sections?
me give you exact figures.
All sections.
There are
All
statutory
sections.
bodies. There are statutory bodies like faculties, committees of courses, which are given a role in syllabus revision and course restructuring as well.
Given a
They were
role
completely
for
bypassed.
4-5
when the
months,
blueprint. Now, I
Bhupendra-
would not like him to interrupt because then I wouldn't be
Sure,
heard.
go ahead.
The first time that the public and the members of the academic council got to know the blueprint for this new, entirely new structure from 3 to 4 years was on the 21st of December 2012, in time 3 days before the meeting of the academic council on the 24th of December. The basic rules and regulations say that you have to give at least 1 week's notice for the agenda that is to be discussed there. So
Right.
there was no time given for any application of mind, and this was never sent back to the faculties and the committees
you
of
want to
courses
take 2
for the
days.
opinion. I don't want interruption. Then on the 25th was a holiday, Christmas. 26th was a meeting of the Executive Council, where without knowing what the agenda and the recommendation of the AC will be, they were told that you have to pass whatever the AC recommends. Later on the 7th of May, courses were passed. Courses were asked to be made in 2 weeks by Mr. Sudhish Pachauri through a letter in March, and 1 week out of those 2 weeks was the spring break. Courses were made in a great hurry. Foundation courses were made not by the departments at all, and on the 7th of May, a whole lot of courses were passed in the academic council. On the 9th of May, in the executive council, they were passed without being shown the courses.
Okay.
You're violating the act
Yes,
in every possible way. You're violating the act, the power of the
No,
executive
no, no.
council,
Hold on.
and the dissent
Okay.
of the chancellor's
Okay,
nominee.
quickly,
The
Madhukishore,
dissent
you
of
want
the
to rebut and
chancellor's
then I want to go to Mohandas Pai
nominee
again.
was mocked at,
Okay.
and the members were humiliated. There has been a reign of terror in Delhi
So
University.
all the points being
Teachers
made
have
by
been
Mr.
victimized for
Mr.
giving their
Jha.
dissent
Yeah.
on courses.
She's
They've
talking
been given
about-
show cause notices.
Okay.
They have been suspended.
Right.
They have been terminated. They have
So
been denied their
bottom line
promotions.
is this, Mr.
This
Jha,
is what
that
is
the
happening in
DUTA
Delhi
president
University.
believes
This is your
that the
autonomy.
points which are being made by you are simply a lie.
Which university?
It's simple. That
Reign of
she's
terror.
basically saying that you're lying.
Dissent is a
that true?
crime today.
See, Bhupendra, let me tell you.
Now surely one of these versions is right.
yeah.
Both
What
can't
is
be right.
happening?
factual.
What is happening is that lot of facts and lot of events as it unfolded, they are just rolled up. See, academic council passed these courses in May. Most of the courses. It was not in December 2012, but May
The structure was
2013.
passed in December
right.
2000.
And before that, all the departments, they had their own course committees. They debated, all members of those courses committees debated, participated, deleted, eliminated, many things were added. And these were referred to subcommittee formed by academic council. This subcommittee considered these courses and then finally it was put in academic council.
It's very interesting.
Faculties,
You know,
hang
Mr. Jha,
hang on, I did not interrupt you.
faculties
I
were
did not
passed
interrupt you.
courses
Okay.
I did
without
not
being
interrupt
shown
you.
Don't
notice.
interrupt him.
See,
Don't
May,
interrupt him.
civilized.
May
Let's
it
have
was
a
done
speech.
and
Yeah.
Bhupendra,
Yes,
then
yes.
again,
Anil Jha.
August 2013, many courses were
Now,
put through
Mr.
in
Jha,
August.
now I'm not interrupting you, but I'm just presenting another counter fact before you. You are telling me that rule book was followed to the T.
Absolutely.
Now I'm going by some of the facts that I have got now from the HRD Ministry's file, and again I wish to present this fact before you.
Yeah.
On 3/9/2011, the decision that was taken by the Executive Council to pass this course of BTech in Humanities, according to the HRD Ministry today, is an illegal course under Section 22, Clause 3, because this was not notified by the UGC. Now, Mohandas, my point is that as I continue to straddle between what the HRD Ministry is now, the conclusions which are being arrived at by the HRD Ministry today, and the very two different versions of reality which are being expressed before us by members of the teaching fraternity, would you say, Mohandas Pai, that the real problem was that maybe this was a good idea of Mr. Dinesh Singh, but he implemented it poorly? Was the implementation part a problem in this case, Mr. Pai?
I think if it's implemented poorly, it's for the university and stakeholders to talk about, because I don't think we should pass judgment. Let us remember the ministry approved it, UGC approved it, everybody and his uncle approved it last year. And if you find some difficulties now, suspend the university for a month, hold up a review committee, come to a conclusion in the next 15-20 days, talk to the VC, talk to the executive council, talk to the academic council, and come to a conclusion. Don't bypass the university if you want to change.
So are you saying don't have admissions? Mr. Pai, are you saying don't have admissions now? You're saying don't have admissions because 57 of the 64 colleges are saying that we will go ahead and admit students. You believe that it's not possible.
Set up a review committee in 15 days. Set up a review committee and do whatever you want in 15 days. Carry the university along with you and show them everything. I'm sure the reasonable people, let us not accuse them of not doing this.
Okay.
Can I come
Samit Bhatt.
See, I have a very different issue over here. I've been listening to the technicalities. I'm not an expert in the technicalities of the university.
But I'm
all
presenting
feel-
facts.
Yes,
I want this to be a factual
yes, the
debate.
facts and technical that you are presenting
And
and, the
every time
opposite
I
side is
present a fact,
presenting.
Madhu Kishwar
But
tells me that why
my
he's doing
issue,
facts.
my question
No,
is,
I didn't
let
say
us
that.
keep the rule book in some other room. Well, yes, the rule book has to be followed. My only concern is a certain rule which is affecting lives of thousands and thousands of people, probably which has been taken in haste.
Right.
Should we not discuss about this particular issue, whether 3-year is good or the 4-year is good? If the 3-year course is better than the 4-year one, why are we having a discussion and all are conquering? All of us are probably conquering on the fact that the 3-year is good.
Who said
Even
it
those who
was?
are speaking.
I'm sorry.
No, Madhu Kishwar, you have been saying right from the very beginning that you have no opposition with the 3-year
I'm
course.
saying
You
something
want the
else.
structured view to be taken from the process. So at the end of the day, at the end of the day, we have a Congress representative. I am from the BJP. I believe at the end of the day, politicians are supposed to see to it that good prevails.
Absolutely.
So if the good for thousands of
Politicians
people
are
who come to
supposed
Delhi
to be
University
representatives of the
for the
people.
reputation of Delhi University is scrapping the 4-year course and having a 3-year course, let's have it.
For
That's all I
you
can
know,
do.
I can't think of too many issues where the NSUI and the ABVP both effectively
You know,
end up picking
CPM
and
and
everybody.
You know, everybody's on the same page.
and BJP.
Now, if
Madhu
everybody's
Kishwar,
on the same
everybody
page,
agrees.
Madhu Kishwar,
There
you're
is
the
no
one who's
difference
not
of
on the same
opinion.
page.
I'm saying
You're the one who's
Except
taking a
I
different
say
view.
the 4 years of the Vice Chancellor.
Can I come in?
Please,
Yeah,
please.
yeah.
Bhupendra.
The
Yes, Anil,
Academic
one second.
Council
These are-
has 26
They sound
teacher
so simple when they say scrap
of
it.
every shade
Scrap
of
it.
opinion.
Yes.
And
Do they understand?
they did vote.
No, but 10 of them
I mean-
dissented and they belong to all shades of opinion.
Bhupendra.
This consent has been
But-
manufactured with the use of the carrot
See,
and the stick.
CPM was not
With the use of the
Bhupendra.
carrot.
Okay,
No, this
hold
is
on,
nothing
hold
to do
on,
with
hold on, hold on.
CPM.
Just
This is
a
abusive.
second.
This is
I'll
just
just
plain
tell
abuse.
you one thing.
Since
This
questions
has
are being
not
raised
nothing to
against
do
the
with the
UGC,
CPM.
since
This is to
listen,
do
at
with
the
the
end of the
entire
day, at the
teaching
end of the day,
community.
Nandita, at the end of the day, whatever was going on within the executive council or the academic council of the DUTA, there was a body like the UGC, the University Grants Commission, which went along, which simply played along.
Absolutely.
Mr. Ansari, would you, just like we're holding these questions and we're raising these questions against the Delhi University Vice Chancellor, would you also not admit, would you concede today that UGC goofed up and you goofed up big time? So just like we're seeking
Can I
the
make a point?
resignation, perhaps of the Delhi University Vice Chancellor, would it be fair on my part then to seek the resignation of the UGC chairman as well? Mr. Ansari?
Well, I can't say.
I would agree with that.
Why?
He
Why
will
not?
not say it.
Come
He's
on,
a
I
human.
mean, here everyone is talking about
polite
remove the UVC,
We would
remove
know,
his scheme.
definitely.
What about the UGC, sir?
I agree with you.
See,
Can I make a point, Bhupendra?
can I make a point?
One by one. Mr. Ansari first.
Well, I don't want to comment
He doesn't
anything
want
on
to
this.
say anything about
The
it.
fact remains, that we have discussed that the future of the students are at stake, that the reputation of the university is at the stake, and there has been a shadow of political interferences that has to be removed. If we want to come out of this lockdown.
So this is all very nice,
I think,
very nice politically correct talk. I mean, let's be clear. Let's look at the reality. The reality is that you, along with the Delhi University Vice Chancellor, perhaps were on the same boat till last year.
No,
it's only.
Mr. Ansari stuck his neck out.
Yeah, he was one of the ones. Sure, he was one of the ones. He was one of those who stuck his neck
was
out.
removed.
I agree
You see,
with you.
they
He was removed
they
because
raised
he
this
joined
issue.
Aam Aadmi
No,
Party.
they've been
Okay.
Congress
Not
members.
because of
They've
it.
been
Okay,
Congress members.
Mohandas Pai, you want to
Congress
take this
members
one
of
because
the
I
UGC.
was asking Mohandas Pai that just like we're seeking, raising questions against the Delhi University Vice Chancellor, why shouldn't I raise questions against the UGC as well?
I agree with you. If UGC is very clear, if UGC is very clear that is wrong, let the UGC sack the Vice Chancellor, supersede the Academic Council, supersede the Executive Committee, put an administrator and run the university. Do it. If you have the power, please do it and clean it up.
Universities, please, who want to destroy Delhi University so that people
No,
can
on
be
the
pushed to
contrary,
private
private
universities.
universities
Take it out, take out the man will
That
do
is
it.
the whole game plan
don't
here.
want this
This is the
to
whole game
succeed.
plan.
And anyways, the fact is,
is the whole game plan.
since we have to have this
This is
debate
why it
within
happens.
factual parameters, let me just tell you that the UGC can't take action against the Delhi University Vice Chancellor. The only person who can do that is the visitor, who in this case happens to be President Pranab Mukherjee. But Anilja, you wanted to take that.
Yeah.
See, I just want to tell you one thing. What is happening is a lot of things, as I said earlier, are getting rolled up. See, if you're talking about the past as if something was going on in a cloak and dagger manner or hand in glove, some kind of a criminal activity was going on, let me tell you, Vice Chancellor, since the time he joined Delhi University, since that time only, he maintained that this new curriculum has to be introduced, and it is not introduced in haste, because he said, I am quoting him, he said that he needs at least one more year to review it or fine tune it in case some objections come here and there.
Right.
Look, I completely welcome reviewing and fine-tuning, but roll back. Do you understand? It is very difficult. If you roll it back, you know the procedures and the processes, it will entail months and months.
Right.
These guys
Nadita doesn't believe it's
intelligent guys.
Is Mr. Dinesh Singh going to pay from his pocket that 1,000 crores that is required to have 33%
Will you
more students
pay from
in
your
the colleges?
pocket?
Or
For
are we
last
going to
1
sit
year
in
you have been
canteens and
objecting to
lawns
something
and not
which
have
was...
teachers to teach them.
You know,
What are you? Are you making a mockery of the university?
They are making mockery of it.
Wouldn't you agree,
There are 33% more
Samrit, with
students
all
that you
these
require,
divergent
please
voices
understand.
coming up?
The shift to
You're
three-
talking about a university which has 55,000 seats. There are 2.5 lakh applicants. Now you've just come to power. I do concede the point that this was a part of the BJP manifesto that we will roll back this 4-year undergraduate program when it came to the Delhi Assembly elections. But was this timing right? Could the timing have been different? Could the method have been different?
Bhupin, two things, let me put it in perspective. First and foremost, as far as the government is concerned, Smriti Irani has absolutely made it correct that they are taking a structured view, and it's a matter between the UGC and the DU. As far as the party is concerned, it was in our manifesto. We have always fought for this. We are fighting for it. So I believe the government is taking a structured view. But I personally over here believe we are having a debate on issues probably about which the people would be least interested on. People would be interested in knowing what were the benefits of 4 years and what were the benefits of 3 years. And let the people of this country decide. This is a democracy. Let them decide. No, Madhu Kishwar, I have not found a single student who believes, and that's the reason as to why all the political parties today are on the single page. Not a single person over here believes that the 3-year course is bad and the 4-year has a superseding hand over it.
No, Guru Tegh Bahadur University has implemented it.
Yes.
Shiv Narayan University, Flame
This is a
University,
private university.
I'm saying the manner of implementation.
Why did you study
I'm
this
just
whole
saying,
state?
I'm just
Those are
saying
professional
manner of
courses.
But
implementation.
manner of
That's all I'm
scrapping
saying.
is 1,000 times
But
worse.
they're professional universities. This was a different university.
So you believe that there was no other option left for the HRD minister other than to see the kind of situation which is now
See, as far as the
unfolding before us?
HRD ministry is concerned, I believe the government spokesperson would take a view on this. Parties, as a party spokesperson, our stand is extremely clear. Tomorrow also representatives of the party are going to meet the HRD minister and we are going to convey that we want a 3-year structured course.
You believe that it's a 3-year structured course is a necessity. Final word then from you, Nandita Narayan. The 3-year structured course is a necessity. Madhu Kishwar has gone to the extent of suggesting that this has been a blot on the NDA government. With all these divergent voices coming up, do you not feel that maybe there will be a credibility deficit as well in terms of whatever course which will be offered to the students now?
No, I think that the courses which were tried and tested and which are running in the 2nd and 3rd year, they have to be brought back. If a certain ordinance is not accepted, if it is de-recognized, the previous ordinances have to come in because you can't have a vacuum. Right. That is one. The second thing is that the review has been going on way before even the course started, because when we looked at the structure, we were horrified when you have 12 foundation courses out of 42, which means you're wasting the time of the students. That extra year, you're not adding any value. You're not giving any choices. The option papers that were there have been removed. The interdisciplinary courses have been removed. You're doing school level courses.
So you believe the only way to
Yes,
deal
and the
with
review
this
has been
mess
going
once and
on.
for all
Absolutely.
is the removal
BJP
of the Vice
only
Chancellor?
responded to public pressure.
Right.
It did not think of this on their own.
What
They
about the
responded
Vice
to public
Chancellor?
pressure.
What about the Vice
Vice Chancellor did not have a dialogue with the elected
Should he be
representatives
resigning?
for 3 years.
Does
Yes.
he have the moral right to
He has
continue?
no moral right.
Anil Jha, does
We
the
talk
Vice
about
Chancellor have the
dialogue.
moral right to
Where
continue?
was the dialogue? We could not speak to the Vice Chancellor
He is a
for 3 years.
principled man,
3
followed
years,
all
Anil
due
Jha.
processes, all procedures, very democratic, all the democratic
democratic.
institutions within the
My
university
goodness.
were respected, academic
There was a
council
reign of
meetings
terror.
were held, EC meetings were held. If he was a dictator, as my friend tries to label him,
Yes.
he would have destroyed all these institutions.
He has destroyed
But
all these institutions.
look, there is a program called Antardhwani every year that is window casing of universities or colleges' achievements and accomplishments.
That
He
is window
meets
casing
thousands of
FYUP.
students. I did not interrupt you.
Yeah,
Allow me
sure,
to
sure,
speak.
sure, Anil, sure.
Thousands of students, thousands of teachers. Now, remember one thing, that there are questions raised about the foundation courses. Let me tell you, this foundation courses, 11 of them, Gandhi is sitting at the core of the foundation courses. Babu, let me tell you. Let me explain this. Just give me 1 minute.
Quickly. I'm running out of time.
Quickly. See, Gandhi believed in a lot of general reading because he wanted students to become good speakers. He wanted to become
You believe that this was well thought out. Your point is this was well thought out.
A lot of courses are there which allows a student to have a lot of general idea. For example, somebody is doing history.
But you heard the students. The students themselves are saying that why are you making... The students themselves, Anil Jha, were saying, a short while back when our reporter was talking to them, that why are we being forced to study what we have read in 8th and 9th?
Right from the beginning, Bhupendra, just apply your mind. I'll tell you, right from the beginning, these guys have been spreading rumors about these courses.
Well, I'll say,
they have been trying to bring it down.
The best part in this debate is the one who spread the mess, Congress is absent. Where is the Congress?
I am here, I'm representing the Congress right now.
But rather interestingly, you believe that this 4-year program should not have been there.
Because we went to the students, we have taken the feedback and we know about all the shortcomings that are there in the system. That's why we wanted to be scrapped.
Okay, in conclusion, let me just put this question and I'll ask all of you. Do you believe, Sambit Patra, the best way to solve this mess is that Dinesh Singh, since he happens to be a figurehead of the Delhi University, he must come out and he must explain and move on? Would
Definitely.
that be the best possible solution?
I would close my statement with how I began. I said education has no place for ego. So one man's
ego.
No, don't display ego. Don't display ego. And just a second, Mr. Dinesh Singh's version was the 4-year course would increase flexibility and employability. Neither of them would be increased. Scientific studies have shown that they would be decreasing.
The VC should accept the shortcomings in the FYUP and roll it back to the 3-year program. But the UGC should not be a puppet of the BJP government and meddle in the autonomy of the Delhi University.
And what about the UGC, Mr. Ansari? What about the UGC? Will the UGC now act as a puppet of the BJP, sir, just like it was a puppet of the Congress?
Well, earlier the MHRD, the UGC and the DU, they were working in tandem with each other. But now, unfortunately, Delhi University has fallen out.
Okay.
And that has been a problem.
Okay.
And it is here that I see that the academic activities of the universities has now been mixed up with the Delhi politics and the national politics. Unfortunately, the mixing of academic activities with that of the political activities has now created the mess, and I see that in the next year or so, the university is not going to be out of this logjam.
Now that's a very strong, statement. Mohandas Pai, here is a UGC member himself saying that next year also the university will not be able to come out of this logjam. Troubled times, it seems, are not going to run away, are not going to disappear soon.
So my view is very simple. Ask the Delhi University to look at the whole issue and come to a conclusion in the next 15 days. Respect the conclusion. If not, ask the UGC to supersede the Vice Chancellor, supersede the Academic Council, supersede the Executive Committee, decide what it wants, put an administrator, run the university.
10 seconds, all right, 10 seconds, in conclusion, I just want all our viewers, many of these young students, their parents who would be looking at this program would be wondering, are they entering a war zone? How would you be reaching out to these people?
No, well, the thing is that the university is to be about dialogue, and dialogue had ceased in the university for a long time. The elected representatives of the teachers, students and Karamcharis did not even get an appointment with the Vice Chancellor for 3 years. It was at the behest of the new government that we were able to meet him for the first time. So dialogue has to be restored in any civilized society, and a university is about dialogue, number one. Number two, that at the heart of the whole thing is the students' interest. We are fighting for students' interest today. We are not fighting for our own service conditions improvement, and we will stand by the students, and we hope that the UGC will be determined in getting the Vice Chancellor of Delhi University to perform his job and send guidelines to colleges immediately about when the cutoff should be declared.
I think that's a perfect note that you've given us. That's a perfect note, Nandita Narayan, that you've given us for us to conclude this program and discussion. Thank you all for joining me on this program. Nandita Narayan is right. This is not about teachers. This is not about political parties. This is about students. And at the end of the day, whatever decision is to be taken by the government, by the UGC, by the Delhi University Vice Chancellor, the interests of the students must be kept in mind. The question is the Delhi University Vice Chancellor, is the UGC Chairman, maybe to an extent even the HRD Minister, is that the real question on minds of all these three individuals or not? This is a story which will perhaps continue to be dominating our headlines in the next couple of days.